to our channel. I'm Tasha.
I'm Alan.
And we are Tasha and Alan's Disney Adventures. And as last week you were seeing, we were doing a trip report on New York, and this is part 2.
Turned into quite a long trip report.
It did. I'm sorry about that. I'm really pleased that some of you did keep with the whole report. I couldn't believe that, but thank you so much for watching, as always. So yeah, last week we talked about the flights, the New York City pass and the hotel. Today we're going to talk about the food, the Broadway experiences and our overall experiences of New York.
And thoughts, yeah.
And our thoughts, yes. So get a cup of tea again. I think this might be another long one. Right, starting with food.
So
go for it.
So, if you go to Disney as lot, you know you can get the dining plan. This was no dining plan. We had to everything out of pocket. So we came up with a budget.
We did.
We actually stick to the budget. We actually, by the time we got home and bills came through, it was actually as much as I budgeted for. So actually, I was quite happy with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. Remember, with America, you have to add tips on and things like that.
Always add these things into your budget.
Yeah.
Always.
So when you are budgeting, remember, could do a lot of research. So I was kind of looking at menus even before I went to New York, so I had a rough idea of prices. That's how I budgeted. And always remember to add 20% on.
Yes.
For tips.
Yeah.
Whether you have good service or not, takes into account tips and things like that.
Yes.
So yeah, so we budgeted, and yeah, we enjoyed what we want. We probably didn't go as classic New York as what people said we should and what we were recommended. You know, these like New York diners type things and these classic little diners and New York pizza, because even though I like pizza, pizza doesn't like me that much.
Yeah. You have a love-hate relationship with pizza, don't you, at the moment?
Yeah. So we didn't actually try pizza, even though the amount of pizza restaurants and slice of pizza for $1 was around and things like that. We didn't actually try that, did we?
No.
But we ate what we did. So where did we go first in the first night?
So Olive Garden. So you'll have seen this in our vlogs. It was our first restaurant, and it was a restaurant you had heard from other vloggers that you had watched, hasn't you?
Yeah. So a lot of off-site restaurants in like Disney World and Orlando. I've seen people go to Olive Garden, and I've heard about the breadsticks on the salad. So I knew there was I wanted to try Olive Garden, and I knew there was an Olive Garden at Times Square, and it is literally at Times Square. It's behind the big red steps at Times Square.
It was cool.
And we went there, and you have to go up an escalator to get into the restaurant. But yeah, it's Italian. And we love Italian. We do love a bit of Italian.
It's one of my favourite cuisines is Italian. That and Chinese. But yes. And I got myself some pasta, which was amazing, with meatballs. And you got the same. But I made mine better with cheese. He doesn't add cheese. I can't believe he doesn't add cheese. Why are we married?
I don't know.
But it was amazing. It was such a nice meal. Every time we went, because we went twice, we chose to go twice in the end. Well,
you liked it. You were unsure when you first went the first time. I'm going Olive Garden, Olive Garden. You were going, oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she's very. She only goes to places she knows she likes.
Yeah, I'm a fussy eater though.
Yeah, and you went there and ended up loving it.
Yes, I did. So that's why we went the second time, which I didn't record, but we did record the first time. So go and watch our travel day vlog. It's in our travel day vlog.
And we had different that time, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah.
But the food was really good quality, really tasty. I like the breadsticks and salad. You weren't enamoured with the breadsticks and salad.
No, because I think they were just a bit salty, and I'm not into that. But
I like savoury food. I'm not a sweet eater. I like savoury over sweet. So.
Whereas I'll have sweet over savoury. I love sweet food. I love cakes and puddings, don't I? And I did on the second time we went. I had the chocolate. Oh, what was it called? Lava indulgence brownie thing, which was just chocolate heaven for a chocoholic like me. I couldn't barely eat it all, to be fair. It was so big, but it was so good. So good.
But yeah, so it was really good, really nice. Breadsticks, like I say, I like it. Tasty Italian food. You know, really good quality.
Yes.
Reasonable in price.
Yes.
Really was reasonable in price for,
Yeah.
you know, for drinks. We don't drink much alcohol, so we didn't have alcohol.
No.
You know, you had a pudding, like I said, and yeah, good value. And I think most it was about $50-$60, including tip. Wasn't a great amount of money.
No, it was good. It was good. Really good food.
Yeah.
The other place that we did use a lot was the McDonald's out there, just because of the ease. It was quite close.
Getting drinks and you know, having a like quick lunch, because in our vlog we went, you know, we finished what we're doing and then went back to the hotel, so just pick up a burger for lunch. Do you know what I mean? And probably not the most healthiest thing in the world, but
to be honest with you, we weren't the most healthiest throughout this whole trip. But who is on holiday? Wait until we go to Disney World and you see all our food. So yeah, no, that was good. That was good. Oh, the drinks. I just want to talk about the sizes of drinks out there. Like they're small as like our large.
But they're same price. So when because we wanted to drink, we were coming back and we just wanted to drink, didn't we? And I went to the machine, your automated machine, and selected drink. And the smallest drink was $1. The largest drink was $1.
So you might as well go large, right?
Yeah.
So that was good.
No sugar tax, nothing like that.
They don't have sugar tax out there.
But things like the burgers, they do a double fish fillet burger meal,
which is what they don't do here in the UK.
They do a double quarter pounder meal,
which I think should be in the UK.
Can see what she eats at McDonald's. They do, I think they did a treble Big Mac.
Wow.
Yeah. Big Tasties, things like that. The chips I wasn't enamoured with, really. Actually, I think I prefer British chips. But then I think I prefer British hash browns to American hash browns in McDonald's.
Yeah.
I know in Canada you don't like the hash browns and all that.
No. But no, we did use the McDonald's a lot.
Yeah, for breakfast. We had a breakfast there as well, didn't we? So we had standard egg sausage and egg McMuffin.
Can I say something about that though? It wasn't that greasy. Now sometimes you go to UK McDonald's and they have like a sausage egg McMuffin meal, can be quite greasy sometimes. When we had it in New York, it was really like flavoursome, not greasy, and it felt like it was quite healthy, didn't it? It tasted like it was
fresh, didn't it? Actually, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it felt fresh.
Okay, so the next restaurant that we tried was TGI Fridays.
We love TGI Fridays in the UK.
Yeah.
We love the ribs in TGI Fridays UK.
Yeah.
I love the frosted strawberry margaritas in the UK. Was I enamoured with TGI Fridays? No.
No, it was a little bit disappointing, but do you know what?
Little bit. For me, it was big disappointment, actually.
But actually, we really love American food. The first time I ever got into ribs was at Disney World. So I was kind of half expecting that kind of food at TGI, but it just wasn't, and I don't know why. I don't know whether it was just an off day, and
quality of the food,
and it just happened to be on the day we were there. It's not like we would ever be put off to go to TGI Fridays if we ever went to America again or New York again. We would definitely go again. It was just that day of that experience. Unfortunately, it just wasn't as nice.
But also, when you consider the price as well, when you add a tip, it's $100.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like we had a pudding. We didn't even eat pudding.
No, we didn't have alcoholic and a main.
No alcoholic drinks, and it was $100.
Yeah.
I wasn't enamoured with it.
But it doesn't put us off. It won't put us off. We had Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast one morning. Again, we had sort of similar to what we would have had in a McDonald's, like this muffin type breakfast, wasn't it?
With hash browns, and they do mini hash browns, not like a big one hash brown.
I quite liked their hash browns, actually.
Yeah.
They were the crunchy ones, weren't they?
It was different, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was definitely different. It was... I don't think it was overly cheap. But ultimately... Because you had the soft drink and the coffee, didn't you?
I did on that day because I really needed a coffee that day.
But it was one of these ones, actually. It wasn't bad. Wasn't the cheapest. McDonald's probably would have been cheaper. Probably up there with quality. Wasn't bad quality. I'd go again.
I would as well. I would too. Our next restaurant was Planet Hollywood.
So that was on my birthday, wasn't it?
It was on your birthday.
So
And that's when we had the 9/11 day. We finished a 9/11. We came back to Times Square. We were looking for somewhere to eat. You actually had a voucher for Planet Hollywood for using transfers, I think, with attraction tickets, right?
Yeah.
Not sponsored, again, like to say. We're not sponsored.
Was it on my birthday?
No, your birthday was Frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so this was not on Alan's birthday. By the way, we're not sponsored for any of these restaurants or any of this video, I'd just like to point out. Yeah, so we'd finished at 9/11, we come back to Times Square and we decided to go to Planet Hollywood, which we have done Planet Hollywood in other places and actually in other countries. We did it in France.
On our Paris vlogs.
Yes, so, yep.
We knew what we were expecting.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, actually.
So I turned up there and I thought it was a bit dated. I thought the restaurant looked a bit dated, personally. I thought that the menu wasn't extensive. I thought Paris had a bigger menu of choices.
Yeah.
But actually, the burger and quality of food was actually very good.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And actually, because all we really had was the burger, didn't we? I don't think we had a starter.
No.
We didn't have a pudding, and actually the burger filled us up.
Yeah. Really did, and it was really tasty. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it, and I would definitely recommend people to go if that's what you're looking for. If you're just looking for a burger, a quick burger, actually, because it was quick, the service was quick, but then the restaurant wasn't that busy.
No, we decided to go about 4:30 because Broadway shows start at 7 o'clock. Where if you know the West End, they start at 8 o'clock or 7:30 in the West End. So they start earlier. So we decided to get to the restaurant early because also we didn't know how busy it'd be. So we thought we'd get there. So actually we finished our meal quicker than what we thought we did.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but we'd definitely do that again, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Definitely again. For another breakfast, we went to Pret one morning, which was going to turn into my best breakfast. However, right, one problem, and it's in our vlogs as well. We had cheese toasties, which were so tasty, and then I realised there was onion in it.
I don't think there was onion in it.
There was onion in it. I can taste onion. Okay, I don't like onion, so I know what it tastes like. All right, and and that's when I was like, oh, I can't eat any more of this. However,
she'd ate 3/4 of it at that point.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Can't taste it that much.
But I really enjoyed that breakfast.
And the coffee, you had a latte, and you
Oh, that was a good latte. Yes, go to Pret just for latte.
You do love a good coffee, don't you?
I do. I love coffee and hot chocolate are my drinks, and especially in the morning. I don't drink coffee every morning, but there were certain days when we were in New York that I just needed it because we had full-on days. And some days we were out all day. So.
Also, it was. Let's be honest. All of our holidays are quite go holidays. You know, you'd seen Paris, you've seen the cruise, so they're all kind of go holidays.
Yeah.
Even New York is go, and
because it was our first time ever being there, and we wanted to see the city, didn't we?
So we don't do like relaxing weeks off, do we? No, we just go.
We do.
So you need something to help.
Another breakfast. Okay, this turned into the best breakfast we had in the whole of the time of New York.
Juniors.
Wow. Yes, and yes again. Unlimited coffee.
Yeah. So basically, we had seen this restaurant, Juniors, and it was near Frozen, I think it was, wasn't it?
Come From Away.
It was one of them. Down one next to one of the theatres we'd gone to, because we walked past it going to the theatre, and the restaurant was packed. And you'd gone on TripAdvisor and seen it as the 4th best restaurant.
Something like that. It was the 3rd or 4th best restaurant considered in New York. And I was like, oh, that's that restaurant that we've walked past. Yeah. Let's go and do that. I happened to be on the day that it poured down. It chucked down.
It was the morning of the Rockefeller, so it was really raining that morning. And
we had to run. We had to put our ponchos on. We had to run in between the rain so we could like get a bit of a breather and then run a bit further on because it really did pour down. But it didn't stay for all day, did it? No, we said.
But we got in there, and actually, the menu was extensive. The service was awesome.
We had such a lovely server. He was really lovely.
Yeah. But literally they've done everything: pancakes, sandwiches, toasties.
There was such a choice.
Typical American stuff, which you have coffees. So I went for the corned beef hash. Now that's probably not everybody's kind of taste. That's kind of what my father grew up on, and I've got used to it, haven't I?
Yeah.
Corned beef and stuff like that, and this corned beef hash was really, really good. And apparently they make it fresh, and it comes with an egg, and typically American eggs.
It comes with an egg.
Well, Americans apparently like their eggs hard, really hard. You know, fried. Good on them. I can't stand a runny egg. And literally, because he knew we were from Britain, he goes, "So how do you want your eggs? Because I know you have it differently." And then when he explained it, I said, "Yeah, I'll have it like you Americans have it," because it was so.
Can you comment below, would you have a hard egg or a runny egg? I personally love a runny egg. Whenever he orders an egg for a meal, he always has to ask for it hard. So I don't know why, but they always bring my food as well and my eggs hard as well, just because he's asked for it and it's destroyed my egg. So please support me here, YouTube. Runny egg, runny egg. Comment below. Egg debate. Yeah. The whole experience at Junior's.
What did you have? It's pancakes, wasn't it?
Oh, I can't remember. It's in the vlog. I had egg, didn't I? I had like mini potatoes, sausage. I had sort of a kind of fry up, sort of, didn't I?
I thought it was pancakes that you had as well.
Did I have pancakes as well?
Because I remember he brought maple syrup across.
It could have been on a pancake. Watch our vlogs.
You are doing this a while afterwards.
I might actually have to go back and watch my own vlog to find out what I had for breakfast.
The food was that amazing. Don't get us wrong, it was not cheap.
No.
It was not cheap. It was the most expensive breakfast we had there.
Yes.
By far the most expensive.
But the best breakfast we had in New York, and we would highly recommend, if you just have the cash and just want to splash out a little bit on breakfast, definitely go and experience Junior's. And I hear that it's really good at lunchtime and dinner, so definitely
not sponsored.
We'd go back. We'll go back to Junior's. Okay, and then our very last dining experience while we were out there was Allun's Stardust Diner. So if you don't know much about it, it is a restaurant with the waiting staff who...
I call it a diner, not a restaurant. But...
Okay, a diner, sorry. A diner where the restaurant staff are all trying to get onto Broadway. So they will serve you and sing. And they will sing Broadway tunes, and not always Broadway tunes, sometimes just popular songs that are in the charts at the moment.
It was sold to me as Broadway songs and things like that, and they'd sing. But it was, I think they sang Ed Sheeran and stuff like that, didn't they?
That Shallow song.
Yeah, Shallow.
Yes, I really enjoyed that song.
But
then they also sung the classic Broadway songs as well. Like we had Chicago in there. I think there was Dear Evan Hansen, Les Mis.
Yeah, and they do it as singles, trios, combos.
Yeah, and while they're still working as well, so they're still serving you, and then they've got the mic. And
I think they see in our vlog that our server puts your cake down while singing.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's a moment where all the lights go flashy and
confetti goes flying.
And it's such an awesome experience.
It's an experience, yes.
I loved it. Now, you saw us when we came out of Allun's Stardust Diner, and we did give a little bit of a report then, so we won't speak too much about it, but we did say that actually the food itself was really expensive. It wasn't the best food.
It was the most expensive. So it was the most expensive food we had while we were there. Even more expensive than TGI Fridays.
Yes.
I will say we had starters, mains and dessert, but we hadn't had breakfast that day, and we knew we weren't going to eat that evening because we were flying home.
Yeah.
So we knew that we needed to eat something because we knew we wouldn't eat till UK time.
Yeah.
So breakfast UK time. So we knew what we were doing. The overall experience. So coming back, once I got the credit card,
Yeah, there was an issue.
So, when it comes to American till receipts, you have to add your tip. And you have to write down what tip you're adding. All the restaurants we noticed done it in a different way. Some pre-added the tip. Some didn't pre-add the tip and asked you to add the tip and put the total on. And you have to be very careful about what you do. So, Allun Stardust Diner added the tip as standard. And you have to sign for it. So it says how much it is, additional tip, and it says additional tip, total. So but the total they give you is without tip. So you put the additional tip in, and I thought I was putting my 20% in, and put the total I was willing to pay. I then got my credit card statement, and they had put double 20, so they had put 40% tip on top.
Yeah.
And I went and looked. I was going, okay, this isn't right. But they actually, before I even got to emailing them, they then rectified it. Because on the tip, they put total, additional tip, and then, like, the confirmation of how much you're paying. When I looked at my online statement, they'd actually corrected it. So someone obviously had looked at it.
And saw that there was a mistake.
And refunded me 20%.
And that's very good of them. I'm going to say that is really good.
But it's just a warning. Be careful with your tips and how you tip and things like that. You need to be very, very careful and read the bills in case you get charged extra.
Exactly. Right, to finish off the Allun Stardust Diner, if you are a musical fan, honestly go, because it is amazing. I loved every minute of it.
You love Broadway,
I do.
You love West End, you love musical theatre.
I'm a massive musical theatre fan, and I really enjoyed that experience. So definitely worth going. So our next topic, funnily enough, Broadway. So like you were just saying, I absolutely love the West End, and we have seen many shows in London.
We've done double dips in shows.
We have done
morning
a lot.
Or matinee and afternoon or evenings.
We have done a lot of shows. It is a lot, but I love it. I love it. But we decided to go and see 2 shows when we were out there. Again, these are both on our vlog, so please go back and have a look. Our first one was
Come From Away,
which was on the same day as we did the 9/11 stuff. So how did we actually get tickets for the Come From Away? I can't remember.
Come From Away, I booked direct with Come From Away. So I went onto the Come From Away Broadway website, got put through to their ticket service, so kind of like Ticketmaster, but wasn't Ticketmaster. And you have to choose your seats. The nice thing about their website is the seats you choose, you get a visual representation of where you sit, so you can select your seats and say, what does it look like, and it will show you what your view will be from your seat.
Which I think is really cool, and I think that the West End should do the same. I really loved the idea of that. Like, I can see what I'm actually going to see.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So yeah, so we were able to do that. The seats we paid were about $59.
Again, not bad.
But where the costs add in, we had to pay about, I think it was about $15-16 worth of admin fees, booking fees, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So actually, it put the price up to about I think it was about $73 per ticket, which is, once you take conversion and exchange rates into account, can be considered reasonable.
Especially in UK prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because you're paying in American money, luckily I've got a commission-free credit card, which I don't pay any commission on any international transactions. So I was able to put it on there. I was able to purchase it and pay no commission. And the nice thing about it is I pay at that day's Visa exchange rate. With no commission taken off. So where you might go to a travel money exchange and you pay, you get, say, about 5 cents under the current exchange rate. I literally get the exchange rate. So actually it works out slightly cheaper as well, still that way. So it was reasonable. It was quite, you know, it was a reasonable price for what we paid. We done it that way because we thought about doing it that way. And it worked out fine.
Yeah, it's what we wanted to pay. So if you've never seen Come From Away or have no idea about what it's about, it's actually to do with the 9/11 event itself. So when that actually happened, that tragedy happened, there were a load of aeroplanes still airborne, and they had to all be diverted.
American Close the Sky said no one's flying into America.
So they had to put all these planes different somewhere. So they ended up sending about, was it 30 something?
39.
Yeah, 38 planes. We should know that because that's in the song title, 38 planes.
Yeah. That's how I remembered it.
To Gander in Canada. It's a very small town.
Newfoundland.
Yeah. And it's about how this town, this amazing town, basically embraced all these people. Their town population just trebled in one day. Yeah. With all these people coming off these flights. These flights had been in the air for such a long time. It wasn't
they
like
were jumbos, so 747s and things like that. So lots of people per plane.
And when the tragedy happened, it wasn't like all the planes just landed. They actually had to fly around to make sure there were safe landings for every plane. So they actually were in the air longer than they wanted to be, and then when they did land, they didn't actually get off the plane straight away. So
stuck on the planes.
So it was a really long time they were on there. But these people, they basically opened up their homes, their schools, their libraries, and they just embraced all these people, welcomed them, fed them for 4 days, is it?
4 or 5 days, something like that.
While they were on the ground. And it's about these most amazing stories. And honestly, it is such an uplifting performance. There is no interval. It's 100 minutes and the music is amazing. I would definitely highly recommend you listen to the soundtrack. I recommend you going to see it. It's also in London. We've seen it a couple of times in London and really enjoyed it, and that's why we wanted to see it on Broadway. We thoroughly enjoyed the Broadway version. There is slight differences between the London version and the Broadway version. But yeah, again, it's just a great story, and you do, at the end, everyone's dancing and people come out just feeling uplifted. Yes.
The thing that surprised me was you don't have to pay for programmes. They give you programmes as standard. Part of your ticket includes a programme.
In the UK, you have to buy a programme.
If you want a programme, that is.
Sometimes you have to buy 2 programmes. They're quite cheeky, actually, over here.
Oh yeah, they do the standard programme and then they do the picture programme and all stuff like this.
Whereas in Broadway, they just give you them. And I'm like, oh.
These are really suiting.
Oh, okay. But the show itself was amazing. The music was amazing. I love that set. It's a very simple set, but how they use it is
just one set, no changes really. It's just the same thing, isn't it?
But and how there's only about like 12 actors, maybe 9, and how many characters they have to play, so they switch from accents constantly, which I think was really good. And it's funny. It's really funny. It's
got comedy in it.
Yes.
It's so heartwarming, so lovely.
You really enjoyed it, didn't you, when you first saw it? You didn't think you would.
No.
But yes. So yeah, that was our first show. Now, our second show. We went to Frozen the musical on Broadway, which I am so pleased we did. It was one of the best shows I've actually seen. So we
booked this for attraction tickets, not sponsored. Now the way attraction tickets do it, you basically go onto their website, choose what show, what date, and you choose a category of seating, and they give you a price. You don't choose your seats, they just give you a category of seating. And they did say to us, because I actually phoned up about it because I was interested in how this process worked, and they basically put you buy with them, they send the ticket request off, and the theatre give you the best possible seat at that point in time for the category you choose. They say they usually get an answer back within 48 hours of what seats you've got. and just as long as it's within outside 7 days of the show, you are free within your right to cancel. Or that's what they told me. I was in my right to cancel at no penalty if I didn't like the seats, or I could request new seats and do a negotiation, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We just decided it was the price we wanted to pay.
Yeah.
It wasn't cheap. It was about £78 a seat. And that wasn't the most expensive category. You can see the pictures.
Yeah, see our vlog. You can see where we were sat, where we took pictures from, and actually it was really not a bad seat, was it?
No, it's a really good seat. But we decided to go with it. We wanted to test it out, see what it was like. And we went in there, got our tickets, went up to the theatre, what they call the wheel call. We call it a box office.
Yeah.
Picked up our tickets. They say you've got to hand across your credit card. I didn't. I just had to show the reservation. They asked me my name, and he handed me the tickets, and we went into the line to wait to get into the theatre.
It was super easy.
Super easy. Got really good seats. Got our programme. So we were expecting, it must be just a come from away thing that they give you a free programme. Nope. Frozen, we got a free programme with it. Full free programme.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. But you went and got one of the refillable drinks, didn't you? The Frozen mugs.
I did. I got one of the Frozen refillable cups.
It was what, $9, and then you could refill it with a drink for $4 every time.
Something like that. We didn't refill in the end, but I was just pleased to just get that little bit of merch to take home with me.
Yeah. But the show.
The show. Wow. The actors and actresses they had chosen to put in their roles were perfect, absolutely perfect. They made the characters exactly like they are seen in the actual film Frozen.
And at this point in time, the cast that's on Frozen in Broadway are not there, that we saw are not there anymore.
No.
So we're lucky we got to see who we got to see.
Yeah, yeah. No, they were fantastic. They were so good. They were definitely on point. The singing was great. Even the extra songs that they had put into Frozen
The extras were amazing.
Sets. Let's talk about sets. Wow. The set in there and how they changed it, how they made Elsa's palace so magical as well is just incredible, and how they made Elsa so magical as well. Like all the effects that they used to create the magic was brilliant. They added comedy into the show, which was fantastic. The costumes were beautiful. Elsa's dress was just gorgeous, you know, and how they do that quick change I loved as well. Sven and Olaf were perfect. Kristoff was great. He had such a great voice. And they all had the right characteristics. I loved it.
The two young girls are playing.
Oh, the kids. They were so sweet. And then one of the girls was used quite a bit actually in the show for different scenes, and I thought she was incredible to remember all her lines and her moves.
Dance moves.
And she was quite young, and she did amazing. Like, the kids were so cute. And then, in general, the experience of Frozen was just out of this world. It was sensational. I loved it so much, and we're so lucky in the UK that it's coming to the West End, and me and Alan have tickets to see it twice. So
I'll tell you how we got them twice.
We'll talk about Frozen and everything to do with Frozen in the UK nearer the time, so definitely watch out for a video on that. But no, in general, great. If you're in the New York area and you want to go and see a show, I would highly recommend Frozen. It was good.
Yeah.
It was super good.
It was everything you wanted it to be.
So good. Honestly, it took my breath away. And there were moments where I thought I would cry because it was so beautiful. I didn't. But there was moments where I was like, oh. I loved it. All that noise.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last thing we wanted to talk about with New York is our overall experience. Alan, do you want to start?
Okay, so yeah, I loved the flights. Really did love flying on a new airplane. Really good.
He's very nerdy on planes.
Yeah, I do like my planes. I do like my trip reports on planes and things like that. yeah, I like New York. I don't know necessarily if I'd go back regularly. I would probably say we would go back sometime, but I wouldn't say we would. Not like Disney. We wouldn't go every year or do something like it every year, like we do Disney.
Yeah.
It's like the law. We have to do that something every year with Disney, isn't it?
Yes.
But yeah, it was a good experience. It was reasonably priced for what we well, it was like 6 days eventually, wasn't it, with flights and all that, and so yeah, it was good. I wouldn't say I was 100% enamoured with New York. It's definitely an experience that glad I've done. But yeah, there's probably other cities I'd go back to first, which you might find out we're going back to one later. Yeah.
My thoughts on New York was always a place I always wanted to go to, because you see it on the TV so much. Like I couldn't believe, like, when we were in Times Square and they were filming Good Morning America and stuff like that. I was like, whoa, you know, they're the sort
literally
of things...
they're filming it right above you on the second floor, so you can literally see into the studios where they're filming. And
I think that is super cool. I loved all that. I loved my experiences in New York, like going to the Central Park Zoo, the Rockefeller Center, 9/11, seeing the sights.
The architecture I like the architecture of the buildings, like the Chrysler Building, the Art Deco-ness of the buildings, and the Art Deco things of the buildings.
And I got to shop in one of my favourite shops,
Bath and Body Works.
Yes, where I showed you I got all those lovely body sprays. I could spend so much in there, honestly. We do have shops like that over here, but
they're not the same.
They're really not the same. So when you go over there, I'm like, I stock up. So I'm really pleased about that. I loved Ellen Stardust. I was so glad that I've gone and experienced that, because all of my musical theatre friends who have been to New York recommended that I go to that, and I'm so pleased they did. So thank you guys. Again with Allun, would I go back again? Yes, I would, but not anytime soon. It's not like a city where I need to go back there because I miss this, this and this.
We're not big shoppers, are we? So
no.
Even when we go to Disney World or Disneyland Paris or wherever we go, we're not big merch buyers.
Oh, unless it's a mug.
You love a mug, or
I love a mug,
or a bit of Pandora. But we're not big shoppers. I don't go designer brands. I'm not that kind of person. I'd rather put all my money into my holidays.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We put all our money into our holidays that we go on, and that's why we can do kind of the amount of holidays we do. And for the people who know us, why we do the holidays we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we don't go there for the merch. We don't go there for the outlets. We don't go there for the clothing and things like that. We go there for the experience.
We do. We want to go and experience things that we see on TV sometimes, and obviously you see a lot of New York on TV, and we really wanted to go and see it for ourselves, and it was amazing.
The thing that got me the first day was, you're driving down a road, it's sunny outside, middle of the day, and there's no light in that road because the skyscrapers are so high, light physically cannot get into that street. And you know, the streets are like London streets. You physically no light whatsoever. And that's kind of, yeah.
It is amazing to be at the bottom and look up and look at these skyscrapers and how tall these skyscrapers are, and the architecture, because actually some of those buildings are really pretty out there.
Like I say, you liked the Chrysler building, didn't you?
I did, and there was a couple of buildings. There were some Art Deco ones that I really liked the look of. So if you are planning to go to New York, we would recommend New York to anybody who wants to go and experience those things that we've talked about.
And there's still things I'd like to do. So I'd like to go to the aircraft carrier and go on board that aircraft carrier. I've forgotten what it's called now, but they've got Concorde there as well. They've got all planes on top of the aircraft carrier. Down at Hell's Kitchen, they Hell's Kitchen has been rebuilt and they've got architecture in there. If you watch the beginning of Saturday Night Live, one of the guys is on this like lattice kind of architecture. That's down in Hell's Kitchen. We drove past it on the bus. It's amazing. So there's still stuff I'd like to go and see and do.
Yeah, because we didn't do everything.
Yeah.
Not in a million years. There's lots of museums out there that we didn't get to do either.
Yeah.
So there's so much to do. Like even Central Park, we only did
The small southern half of Central Park, and it's actually quite amazing how big Central Park is. I think that was the shocking bit, how big Central Park is.
Yeah. So there is so much to do. But no, we did enjoy our trip,
Yeah.
and we're so pleased that we went. And that is the end of our trip report for New York. Thank you. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. If you've liked our videos, if you've commented, if you've subscribed to our channel. We weren't sure if we were ever going to do YouTube. There was a lot of discussion on whether we should do YouTube, and actually,
well,
since doing
yeah,
it,
we've done it for our memories, haven't we?
We have. We don't do it for any type of monetary gain. Nothing like that.
We do it for our memories, and it's also easier for our family to see the videos and things like that by sticking it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why we've done it in the first place.
It was, yeah, to share our experiences with our friends and family, but you guys are now becoming our friends and family because you are regularly watching us and
commenting,
and I can't believe it. So there's times where I feel a little bit overwhelmed when someone's like they've just taken time to just write, even, guys, thank you for that video, or we've just watched that video and we were there and thank you for sharing it. And I just think that is so kind of people. And people from all around the world have commented or watched our videos, and it's quite overwhelming, isn't it, to say that they've done that. And you have, and you guys are amazing, and thank you so much to come and support two people from the UK in a small town. And we're not professional vloggers at all. Never pretend to be. And
this is our first sit down kind of videos we've done.
Yeah, and you're watching them, and honestly, thank you so much. Really, thank you. And we hope to see you real soon. Bye.
Bye.